Hi everybody, I forgot to make the week 3 coursework review. I'm sorry about that. Um, I don't know if anybody uses it, but I do it just so that for consistency and that you have some of the things to look out for in your assignments. So this week, your reading material is Chapter 4, Costing and Pricing of Transportation, Chapter 9, Third-Party Logistics, Chapter 10, Transportation Risk Management, and Chapter 11, Global Transportation Execution. So for week 3 discussion, the first discussion post talks about risk management consists of 4 steps that should be followed to reduce the consequences of disruption. Identify the 4 steps, discuss what these steps involve and why they are important. Identify the 6 different categories of transportation risks that are discussed in Chapter 10, and identify these categories, describe them, and give transportation examples for each category. How do you propose that these losses might be contained? So this is going to involve you looking up some information in your book and then discussing it in your own words. The second is, why is information technology an important issue to customers when outsourcing transportation logistics activities? And we will be talking about this in the Kaiser Live, but basically, when you outsource, you need to share that information so they know what's coming, and you have transparency of where your product is as well. So it's important that they have real time, that they share the information. You're going to see a lot of repetition in logistics when we go through these classes because it all interacts and overlaps. And to learn is all about repetition. And sharing of information is one of the most critical things in logistics and transportation. So you will hear that a lot throughout the next few months. You have a case study again this week. Read case study 11-2 As the Blade Turns on page 396. Once you have read the case study, please answer the 4 questions at the end of the case study. Make sure that as you are answering the questions, you're incorporating information from your weekly reading. You're taking it from the book. So at minimum, you should be citing and referencing the textbook. The one thing I will tell you about this case is really look at find out on a map where these places are located, because it's going to ask you what's the best route to get the product from the manufacturing site to the shipping site. So make sure you look on a map to see where they're talking about so that you can actually look at the best route. Now, in the real world, you're probably going to have some IT program that does this for you, that gives you the best route with the least amount of money and the least amount of transit time. But for this, you want to look at it and just kind of figure it out. They want you to think outside the box. For your week 3 internet project, by now you should be starting on your rough draft. So by the end of the week, by Sunday, you should submit your rough draft to the OWL. Some of you already have, and I've already received them back. You'll submit your work to the OWL. They'll review the work. And you'll get a confirmation email from them if it's submitted correctly. If it's not submitted correctly, they'll email you back and let you know what you need to do. But make sure that you're filling out the OWL submission form, and you're attaching, so you have to attach that, and you have to attach your rough draft. Once you submit it, you'll get the confirmation email. They'll review it, making their recommendations, and then they will send you another email with your rough draft and the submission form attached to that with their recommendations. When you receive this email, forward it to me so that I have it for grading purposes and I can see whether you actually incorporated it into your final draft. So this whole exercise in submitting it to the OWL is to introduce you to the online writing lab, get you familiar with it, help make you a better writer. And so it's important that when you get this back, you review the recommendations and incorporate them into your final paper. If you have any questions about this. So this week there will be no submission per se in the in week 3, but I will need the emails back because when I grade your final project in week 4, part of that is, did you submit it to the OWL and did you incorporate it, the recommendations into your final paper? So that will come out in week 4. So again, nothing to submit in Blackboard this week, but you will submit it to the OWL and through Blackboard, and then they will email you back and then you'll submit that to me. Again, I'm rambling, but if you have any questions, let me know. Then extra credit, if you're not allowed or if you can't attend the Kaiser Live session, if you want the extra credit, please go ahead and make sure that you prepare the summary of the Kaiser Live session on a Word document. Make sure that it's 100 to 200 words and that you're utilizing specific examples of what I spoke about in the lecture. If you don't do that, you won't receive full credit. All right, so that's pretty much it this week. Yep, that's it. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and have a great week.